Hey, Forrest here. Nothing like getting paid. And with ICCU's mobile app, I can deposit checks or accept Zelle payments so the money hits my account fast. I just wish there was an app for mowing the rest of these lawns.
Right now, Lithia Ford of Boise is buying used vehicles. How much you want for the SUV?
I don't know.
Well, Lithia Ford will give you more than that.
How much more?
More than you think.
I'm not thinking anything.
I'm thinking you might get even more than that. See how much more you can get at Lithia Ford of Boise.
When it comes to concrete, we've got you covered. RowPaint.com offers custom concrete coating services for your garage, business, warehouse, and more. And we do it in one day. We are your complete concrete coatings solution.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Joining BJ Rains today is KTVB Sports Director Jay Tust. Check him out on Twitter at KTVB Sports Guy and make sure to check out KTVB.com. Today's broadcast is coming from the Cutwater Spirits Canned Cocktail Studios. Check out one of their more than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. Now here's Jay Tust and BJ Rains with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Hey, how we doing? Happy Tuesday. What a morning it's been. What a day it's going to be. Happy Tuesday to you. It is Bronco Nation News Live here at BroncoNationNews.com. We are off to an early start today, so I assume most of you will be tuning on at 9 o'clock and then seeing that the broadcast is over and you're watching this on tape. So I apologize for that. We were supposed to be, as Jay Tust is our guest here for his regular Tuesday appearance, over at Lean Feast today, and I apologize profusely to our man Dave over at Lean Feast. Great spot, awesome food. We were supposed to be there today. I was really looking forward to it. We were maybe even going to get Jay Tust to try a little of their food over there, but I forgot that I signed up today to be a chaperone for my son's field trip to the zoo. So, Jay, we have to juggle things around, and I've got to be at the school by around 9 o'clock to get my badge and sign in, and then be at the zoo before the bus shows up. So we are switching things up today, but we will be at Lean Feast hopefully next week. Go check them out. Awesome meal prep service, and you will not be disappointed. Lean Feast in Meridian. Jay, it's 8:34. As again, a lot of folks probably going to be watching this on delay, but thank you as well for juggling your schedule and getting on early this morning here.
Yeah, we got it done. I got gymnastics, not me personally, but my daughter here in a little bit. So it just gives us a little more time to hang out before we have to head over there.
There you go. Worked out. I guess we'll say it worked out nicely. But we know you're just getting out of bed about 8:25 anyway on most mornings. You know, as a parent of a young child, all you do is just sleep in all day, and I'm sure that was the case. So we appreciate you changing your schedule around, Jay.
Yeah, no worries. There was a day within the last 2 weeks that Collins really slept in, and I think we almost made it to 9 o'clock, and I don't know the last time that I came even remotely close to making it to 9 o'clock, in terms of being able to sleep in.
If it's at my house and it's usually anytime after 7:30, especially on a weekend, and I roll over and open my eyes and look at my phone, it's like 7:25. I'm like,
that's a victory.
Well, yeah, but I'm also worried like the kids are now up the street playing, or that something happened. Like, what are they okay? Why have I not gotten woken up yet at 7:30? But and it's usually they used to come in every morning and just wake me up. Now it's usually hearing them fighting with each other downstairs, or one kid is wanting the remote for the TV, the other kid his iPad won't charge, and he's yelling at the other kid for something. So they try to let us sleep, but our door's open, pushed open by the dog, and then we hear him yelling about something. So it's always an eventful morning in the Rains household. And today was no different, because one of our kids forgot that for the field trip, he was supposed to pack his lunch. So right before we went on the air, he's trying to find an Uncrustable and whatever else he can throw in a brown paper bag before the bus shows up.
In defense of the kid, though, there was a dad that forgot that he was involved in the festivities today as well, as of like 9 o'clock last night. So
yep, I was Nate Smith. We have a little stack where they put their papers from the day, and I like to go over those and see how they're doing in class and things, and look at that. And one of them was a little pink slip. Thanks for being a chaperone for the field trip. I'm like, oh yeah, it is tomorrow, isn't it? So I know, looking forward to it. Did it a couple years ago, I think, for the kindergarten one. Now they I guess they alternate botanical gardens and the zoo. So we're back on the zoo here for the second grade field trip, and happy that I am able and mostly free today to be able to squeeze that in and make it happen. So Jay, thanks again to you. It's going to be a little bit shorter show today as well because of that. So I apologize, everybody. Just stuff happens. And today is one of those days. I do want to quickly mention we got some foursomes available in the afternoon. The afternoon foursomes are still going strong, but we got a few left for the golf tournament on June 2nd. Would love to have you. You get a ton of free stuff, including a free bag of bacon. Jay, I know you've had the bacon bags before. Free bag of bacon. You get donuts from Pastry Perfection. R&R Barbecue is going to be out there. Paddles at Poke. Chef Wally's cooking up a whole new menu for lunch, Jay. He's talking about a carving board and all carving station and all kinds of stuff. So if you know Chef Wally, you know the food's going to be good. But really looking forward to it. And again, you can win a new car with a hole-in-one from Lithia Ford to Boise. A lot of other great prizes and giveaways. You'll be able to meet Tyson Degenhardt as part of the long celebrity shot on hole 17. And then you can obviously meet Coach Rice and a lot of the other coaches from the local team. So really looking forward to it. We want to sell this thing out. The more money, the more foursomes we have, the more money in the raffle, the more money we get to donate to the Idaho Youth Sports Commission. So this is not just some tournament to pocket my cash in my wallet here. This is going to a good cause, and we are paying for a little bit of travel and some things for BNN as well. But a majority of the proceeds last year was $5,000. We're hoping for more this year are going to the Idaho Youth Sports Commission. So if you can come join us June 2nd, it's only 2 weeks from Friday. We'd love to have you. And again, we do have some afternoon foursomes still available for that. Jay, we had a couple. If I can try to find them real quick here. Someone wanting a quick shout out for Cal Raleigh. How about Cal?
Chad? What up, Chad? Yeah, dude, we became the first catcher in the 112-year history of Fenway Park to homer from both sides of the plate. I think he had like a 438-foot bomb, and then came back and hit one over the monster that was 434. That's almost whatever.
I think the Cardinals deserve some credit for that.
Some odd feet of home runs.
The Cardinals just swept the Red Sox in Fenway this weekend, so I think we deserve some credit for kind of beating them down a little bit before you guys got there.
Hey, I'll take it.
We came back in the ninth on Kenley Jansen on back-to-back nights, so maybe we broke them for you guys.
Yeah, Kenley Jansen 2023 is a lot different than Kenley Jansen 2018.
Yeah, he is. Dennis says, good morning, Bronco Nation. Have a great day. Enjoy the show. Thank you for all you guys do for Bronco Nation. We'll appreciate you, Dennis. Mm-hmm. We got a shout-out, hello from Greece. John Tarlis checking in. I saw your picture, Jay, that you posted. I think it was you. Of George Tarlis getting fitted for his Raiders helmet.
Yeah, man. Apparently it went pretty well for him too down there. He walked away with a positive, encouraging performance at rookie minicamp, and there was I think Tyreek LaBeouf was the only rookie minicamp invite. The other four guys were unrestricted free agent signees, so he'll be around for at least a little while longer, and can't wait to see what he can do. Great kid. I think that one thing that a lot of people maybe kind of overlooked this last weekend is the fact that George Tarlis and JL Skinner could even practice. Those guys were, dealing with some injuries that they were able to come back from. Tarlis is probably a little more significant than JL's because he had hip surgery only 6.5, 7 months ago or something like that. And then obviously JL was coming back from that torn pec that he just a freak fluke accident while bench pressing. But both those guys being able to be available were certainly encouraging signs as they transition into the NFL.
And is LaBeouf the only one we know of that I don't think I've seen anything on him getting signed, but as of now, the other guys are still all on the roster.
Right. That's my take on it at the moment. So yeah. So six guys
tries to call. Doesn't he know I'm on the air right now? I mean, come on.
Burns.
Come on.
Whatever story he's about to tell is way more entertaining than what we're about to say, though. I can tell you that.
He's probably wanting to try to play golf or something. I have no idea, but maybe he's got some big news for me. Maybe we'll have some news today. Who knows? But come on. People it's like my mom or somebody will call me. I'm like, Mom, I do a show at 9 a.m. every day. Come on. So,
well, yeah. Welcome to my world.
But overall, it was a good it sounds like other than Skinner getting 46, it sounds like you said, for the
how long he lasts in 46, by the way. I think that I'm not going to call it rookie initiation, but I think there's a little something going on there with that. So I bet you he eventually gets to slide out of 46.
You would hope, but overall, it did seem like for all those guys, it's been to this point pretty solid. Him and Matlock both signed their deals over $4 million, which is just crazy to think about. You're one time, and I know it's a little different now with NIL, but man, you're going from going to class and doing all this, and now you're making $4 million, and again, that's as a 6th round pick.
Right.
So you just think about the guys higher than that, but all the other guys. I haven't seen anybody get cut, yet after the camp. So it sounds like they're all at least going to head into for now. And there's always, waiver claims and things like that. But for now, it looks like all those guys are going to have a chance to do the OTAs and they're still sticking.
Yeah. And while rosters are expanded all the way up to 90, it seems like they have a good chance of hanging on for a while. And the roster cut downs don't happen until probably late August. So this is a chance for these guys to get their foot in the door, prove that they're worthy of a roster spot. And even if it's not of a 53-man roster spot, try to get on a practice squad somewhere and just kind of hang on and fight and compete. And that worked out for a guy like David Moa. He hung on to a practice squad spot, and he's eventually starting to make an impact now. And so that's the goal. We'll see how many of them can do it.
Well, one of the guys that I don't think has gotten a chance yet that I think, could have made a case he deserved it was Zeke Noa. And I do want to talk about him and him leaving. And that's kind of the topic for today's show. But I do want to quickly remind you, we're broadcasting from the Cutwater Spirits mobile studios. More than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails. You can pick one up at your local gas station or grocery store. Our title sponsor, rowpaint.com. Home of the one-day install. Their concrete coatings, they're 5 times stronger than epoxy. Change the look of that dirty, stained, just concrete slab with a concrete coating from rowpaint.com. Highly recommend it. We've got 2 of them. Check them out online. Get a free quote. They'll come over for free and talk to you through the process and give you a price quote. ROEpaint.com. Lithia Ford of Boise. It's grilling season. The weather's warming up. It's going to be nice next couple of days. And that means the deals are even nicer down at Lithia Ford of Boise. LithiaFordBoise.com. View their full inventory vehicles. Check them out. And again, they'll buy your used car on the spot. They're at Lithia Ford of Boise. Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. The best in mobile e-branch online banking. A week from today, May 23rd, we should have a major announcement with Bronco Nation News and ICCU. And I'm really looking forward to that. So make sure you're tuned in next Tuesday, ICCU. And Bronco Nation News, but check them out, ICCU.com. If you're looking for a new job, Transportation Compliance Service can help you out every step of the way. Transcompservice.com. They'll get you a new job, get you out there in the trucking industry, towing that first load in no time, whether it's the big rig on your screen, the Amazon truck in your neighborhood. They can help you out at Transportation Compliance Service. And if you need some new Boise State gear, I highly recommend the Blue and Orange store. They're at the Boise Town Square Mall on the 2nd floor next to Pro Image. You walk in there, if you're a Boise State fan, it's like heaven, man. Every kind of shirt, hat, sweatshirt, bumper sticker, memorabilia, you name it. They've got you covered there at the Blue and Orange store. And if you're not in the area, you can go online, theblueandorangestore.com, and they're offering free shipping at theblueandorangestore.com. All right, Jay, today's topic, we're continuing our 20-question series on the Boise State football team, or 20 kind of storylines going into next season. And for me, this one that I have, we're in the the top half now, essentially. It's number 10 today if you're a number 9, I guess, if you want to go in order. But we're essentially just kind of broke them down into groups. And I think this is a fairly big, for me, storyline. Zeke Noa is a guy that at times battled some injuries. But you look at the body of work and the veteran leadership and the experience that he brings to the table. I mean, Zeke Noa was a linebacker that was in the same linebacker room as Leighton Vander Esch way back when. 2017, he redshirted when Leighton Vander Esch won Mountain West Defensive Player of the Year and did what he did. So he's been here a long time as a 6th-year senior, and he is now gone. And, the production that he had, and again, 227 career tackles, 26 and a half, tackles for loss, had some huge games, couple interceptions. Maybe wasn't like the most productive player ever on the field for Boise State, but was just when he was out there and healthy, he was just a solid guy that you knew what you were going to get. I thought he had a much better season in 2022. 2021, he admittedly was a little bit slow. Maybe wasn't the best year of his career, but he came back last year, Jay, and I thought was great. And on the field, off the field, you knew what you were getting last year from Zeke Noa, and I think he's going to be a tough guy to replace.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I think that the biggest thing for me might not even be necessarily replacing his production, but it's replacing his character, his personality in the middle of that defense. I mean, Zeke was here for a long time. He was a 6th-year senior, and now you're going to be asking a kid that is likely in his 2nd, maybe 3rd year of college to start filling in and and stepping up in place of Zeke Noa. And I do think that, guys, whether it be Daishan Misa or Andrew Simpson, I think that they have that ability. And I know that there could be some shuffling with what you do with DJ Schramm and who you place at will and who you place at middle linebacker. That will sort itself out because all those linebackers are versatile. But it gives me comfort knowing that DJ Schramm is returning for a 6th season. I think that he'll help, whatever leadership needs to be provided. He's going to be a guy that can do that. But if you look at what Zeke did last year, man, like 60 tackles, 8.5 tackles for loss, 4.5 sacks, 2 interceptions. Zeke was a playmaker last year. And, he was always a really steady linebacker, I would say, a contributor throughout his career. But last year, he became a little bit of a playmaker. He even forced 3 fumbles. Those are those game-changing plays that, in the heat of the moment, you think are awesome and you get excited about. And then all of a sudden, a guy like him graduates and you kind of look around and go, where are those going to come from? Zeke was a game changer last year in terms of some of his playmaking ability. That was where he really took a big leap personally. And we'll see how Boise State is able to replace that this year with some younger guys at that position.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk, rightfully so, about losing Skinner and losing Matlock and losing some of these guys. But I just think from an intangible standpoint, a leadership standpoint in the locker room too, man, Zeke Noa is going to be a big loss.
Yeah. You bring up even JL, and I know we are kind of talking about Zeke, but I think the biggest point for me is that when you look at some of those guys that left, JL had 4 picks. I just mentioned Zeke had 2, 3 forced fumbles. There's a lot of those forced or created turnover opportunities walked out the door due to graduation or expired eligibility this last season. So that is something that is going to have to be a massive point of emphasis for this Boise State football team this year. And, I think that it's a luxury when you get playmaking from the linebacker position like that. It's not always the case each and every year at Boise State. You go back and Leighton Vander Esch was an incredibly big playmaker, whether it be getting to the quarterback a few times, a TFL. I believe he had 3 sacks or 3 interceptions the year that he was named the Mountain West Defensive Player of the Year. So where does that type of production come from? Rodney Robinson had a few picks last year, proved that he was capable of it, but they really got to find the ability to go out and make game-changing plays on defenses and force turnovers, despite the fact, I know that you and Prater broke down the edge position not too long ago, despite the fact that they might not have like that obvious elite dude at a position that can kind of, really cause a little bit of chaos and disruption.
And I think it is actually on our list. Maybe I should have done a better job of planning, but I think there is a question within the next 2 weeks that focuses more on DJ Schramm and what he can do by coming back and what he's going to provide. But how do you think this shakes out? What does it look like, Jay? I know you mentioned DJ Schramm can move over to either spot if he has to. We mentioned Andrew Simpson and what he did coming in last year. Who are some of the candidates? Who are the guys? What are the scenarios here for them as they try to replace Zeke Noa, you think?
Yeah, I really wonder if you move DJ Schramm back to middle linebacker and allow Andrew Simpson to play that weak side linebacker spot. Going back to fall camp or spring camp, I don't necessarily remember identifying like a real flow there. DJ really couldn't do anything. He was still coming off an injury himself. So that's just something that we're really going to have to kind of wait and see how it plays out during fall camp. What are they going to do with their rotations? I think that they like some of these young guys that they have coming up right now. Namely, whether it be Andrew Simpson or Daishan Misa, but Wyatt Milkovich. They got a couple of linebackers in there that I think that they feel really, really strong about. And we're going to get a chance to be introduced to some new names. Marco Notarini. I was, on the sideline last year in New Mexico when I saw him come off the field, and I was like, uh-oh, that doesn't look good. And then you see him with a brace on his knee and he's on crutches and he's out for the rest of the season. He's a guy that I think that they felt really good about, prior to his injury, even last year. And so they got some depth there, BJ. We just got to kind of wait to see how it all sorts itself out.
And those are the 3 currently listed on the roster as, at that linebacker position is weak side linebacker is, they list him at least as Andrew Simpson and, DJ Schramm and Marco Notarini. So, but you mentioned some of the other guys. Jake Ripp was a guy we heard about during spring practice. You mentioned Wyatt Milkovic. They I think, coming in. Gavin Hambrook. But for me, I mean, Deshaun Misa, man, we've heard about about him. He's been one of the guys just because of the schools that he picked Boise State over, because of the ranking. I remember you and I were on a rooftop bar there before the Oregon State game, talking to his family. There's been a lot of hype around him. I mean, is this the year that we finally see a little bit?
I think it all depends on what they decide to do with DJ Schramm. If they move DJ back to middle linebacker, I think that probably, blocks Deshaun Misa just at least a little bit. Because DJ proved he was I mean, it's so funny because I want to call DJ durable last year, but I also don't want to discredit the fact that guy played through some stuff. He's a tough dude.
Yeah.
And but maybe having a guy like, if you feel more comfortable with Misa this year, you give him some increased playing time, even in being able to learn behind DJ. That will certainly benefit him down the road. And I'll remind everybody, Deshaun will only be a redshirt freshman this season. He played in 4 games as a true freshman last season, so got his feet wet, but still was able to preserve his redshirt eligibility status. So he'll be a redshirt freshman this fall, which would put him in an unbelievable spot. You feel like to make some to be a huge part of this defense as a redshirt sophomore the following fall as well. So dude's got a bright future. BJ, you're right. He was highly recruited, one of the highest rated recruits to ever commit to Boise State. Andy Avalos absolutely raves about him, and his time is coming. It absolutely is. The only thing that you worry about in today's day and age, and I don't even want to relate this to Deshaun, because he might just be a different cat when it comes to this. But when you ask guys that are super talented to be patient in college sports these days, that sometimes that's a tough ask. It doesn't always work out depending on where you are. But if he can hold out, it really seems like his time in the sun is not too far for him at Boise State.
Well, Zeke Noa, for me, a big guy that's going to be tough to replace, and very curious because they do have some different options there at linebacker, but that's obviously a key position on Boise State's defense, and it looks like, Jay, at least rather inexperienced young guy. I mean, Andrew Simpson would be the most experienced guy that's played, and he didn't, exactly play a ton last year. So it's going to be
the man who showed some glimpses. That's all.
Yeah. No doubt. I think 3 sacks. I think he had in a limited time and some other things. So, but so we'll see. That's a key storyline for me, linebacker, and kind of what they do with Zeke Noa moving on. Jay, I've got to get to the school field trip at the zoo. For all the times I've kept you over, I'm going to let you off 7 minutes early today, and I think we'll call it even. But appreciate it, Jay, for getting on early. Thanks to everybody else for watching us. If you're just tuning us in because it's almost 9 o'clock and you're realizing we're done, we apologize. Had to move the schedule around today. All of our sponsors that I shortchanged today as well. Appreciate you. Boise Dentistry Co., United Commercial Insurance, Matt Bauscher Real Estate, Ridley's Family Markets, all of our great sponsors. We'll tell you more about them later this week. You can find more information, BroncoNationNews.com. But have a great rest of your day, and we'll continue the countdown tomorrow at 9 a.m. I forget the topic, but I'm sure it's a good one as we continue the top 10 countdown here for Boise State. We're 2 weeks from Friday from the golf tournament, which means we're less than that from the month of June, Jay, that the calendar is quickly turning here.
It's so funny because we celebrate this time of year, and then you look up and this time of year is over and you're down at Mountain West Media Days. Hey, real quick, when we come back on Friday, BJ, I wanted to say, I kind of wanted to weigh in on this whole latest round of realignment talk.
I would love to. I quickly got a thought from John Mallory yesterday because I read the article right as we were going on the air, but we can make that happen on Friday.
All I'm saying, man, is to Bronco Nation, just because your name's not in one article, I don't think it's the end of the world. So I'll leave it at that for now, and I'm sure we can talk a little bit more about it.
And what's funny, I may switch it up, but actually Friday's topic is supposed to be DJ Schramm, and we just talked linebackers, so I may switch it up so you're not doing linebackers again, but we'll see. But yeah, we'll definitely save some time.
You talk about DJ Schramm, I will talk about DJ
Show
Schramm.
Show up in a sling and a boot and a neck brace and whatever other brace you can find, because that's what he was probably needing last year with some of the stuff he was coming through. But Jay, appreciate it. Good luck at gymnastics. Get some video for us. You don't get out there and help show her how it's done?
No, we just kind of get to watch and observe.
Okay.
It's pretty cool. And it's not so much gymnastics at this point in time as it is
Tumbling and somersaults and
organized chaos.
There you go.
Yeah. Balancing on a balance beam, whatever. But
that's
it's
cool.
Coolest. It's
that's
awesome.
really cool. Yeah, and that's one thing our kids obviously never got into. So that's pretty cool. So good luck with that, Jay. Have a good rest of your day. Again, thanks everybody. We'll talk to you tomorrow, 9 a.m. Bronco Nation News Live, Bronco Nation.